War Eagle War Rapport family, I'm your host C-Dub, and we have a special show lined up for you guys tonight. Current Auburn player Luke Deal joins the War Rapport. We have plenty to discuss with him. Also, we're going to talk about a few Auburn players making the All-SEC team. And as usual, we'll be discussing what everyone's been talking about for the past few days. Who's going to be our next offensive coordinator? Definitely want to stay tuned for that. But for now, sit back, get your weight up, because tonight we enter the War Room.
You are now listening to the War Rapport. Wednesday night War Room. Brought to you by AuburnSport.com. Ike Jones. B. Will. C. Doe. Mike G. Let's go!
War Eagle, everyone. War Eagle. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the latest Wednesday night War Room, brought to you by our good friends over there. You see that little AS in the upper right-hand corner? That's AuburnSports.com. Those are our good friends over there. Be sure to check them out for your latest in recruiting and all news regarding Auburn athletics. Please be sure to do that. Thanks again. Also, for our War Rapport family, our community, the people in the comment section, thanks again for hanging out with us. Help us grow our community. You can do that by sharing this video, whether you're watching live or on replay. Share it across your social medias, Facebook, Twitter. Use hashtag #GetYourWeightUp. Help people to find our content and help us grow our community. Now, Mike G, what do people need to become in this offseason, sir?
Listen, become an insider. We've got lots of special content planned for you guys this offseason. So January to July, the War Rapport is working hard for you guys to keep the content flowing, keep you informed, keep you entertained this offseason. So become an insider to get access to all special content we'll be dropping this offseason. $5.99 will get you there. If you just want to support, $3.99 is the way to go. We're partnering with the Lee County Humane Society to help raise money for a good cause. We're trying to hashtag save all the puppies. So you can find this link in the About section of our YouTube channel. 50 cents on every dollar donated goes to the Lee County Humane Society to help them in their mission to save all the puppies. So please help us save all the puppies. You know what? As a thank you to all our subscribers, we are giving away tickets to the Birmingham Bowl. Guys, nobody else is doing this kind of stuff. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Tune in Sunday. Tune into every live cast between now. We're going to be giving away tickets. We're actually giving away 8 tickets to the Birmingham Bowl. So we're sending a whole group of y'all to Birmingham to watch Auburn versus Houston. We picked all the seats together so you guys can sit together as a family. We'll give you more information on that. So stay tuned. Shout out to our sponsor, BUSR. They're our betting sponsor. Go to busr.com/rapport. Bet with confidence at BUSR. Every sign up helps us. Make sure you use this link. Tell them the War Rapport sent you. Other than that, guys, listen, we're on podcast, so you don't want to miss our content. The Wednesday Night War Room will be on podcast. We're on Apple, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean. Anything you listen to podcasts on, the War Rapport is there for you. Now, as is customary, every single live cast, we give away something. So hashtag get your weight up in the comments. I see everybody doing this already. Hashtag get your weight up. This is brought to you by GWT2Energy.com. That's our guy, Walt Taylor, in the comments. We appreciate Walt for being here and being our sponsor, giving you guys free merch every live cast. Now, listen, we're going to do something a little different this live cast here. And, we've got a special guest with us today. So this Wednesday Night War Room, we're going to talk about something that affects a lot of people across the United States every year. ALS, also commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects the nerve cells in the brain, spinal cord, and causes muscle weakness that leads to paralysis across all parts of the body. There's no known cause or cure for ALS, but 90% of all cases are sporadic, and there's no family history, so we're not quite sure what's happening, but a lot of smart people are researching it. The average out-of-pocket cost for a patient with ALS is $250K. So while most of us are generally aware of ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, sometimes the disease hits a little closer to home. So joining us today is current Auburn tight end Luke Deal to talk to us a little bit about his father's diagnosis. Luke, thanks for joining us, Duke.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be talking with you guys.
Yeah, man. Listen, Luke, you're our first current player. And when I heard about what was going on with your dad, I wanted to get you on to talk to our listeners a little bit about what he's going through. So I'm going to ask you some questions tonight. I was hoping you could help share with the listeners what it's like to have a family member with ALS. Can you tell us about the moment you first found out your dad had ALS?
Yeah, I mean, kind of going back, the moment that we kind of found out, of course, it was sad. Everybody was kind of shocked. But really, with these kind of things, you kind of just got to take it head on. And that's what my dad really has done, man. He's had our whole family on his back, surprisingly, as it's affecting him. I mean, that's how he is. It's been hard on my mom. It's been hard on the rest of my family, but the moment we found out, we kind of were shocked and upset and kind of just wondering what's going on. What is this? Trying to research this and that. But like I said, we've just taken it head on and just trying to fight this fight.
Yeah, man. Listen, I know that's heavy. You talked a little bit about how it's been hard for your mom. Like, what has it been like for your family as a whole since the news?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a group effort. Not being there right now, it's tough for me, but just staying tight as a family, staying close, staying together. And if I have any word to say to anybody else out there, I mean, just cherish it and work together for anything. And that's kind of what we've been doing, trying to help mom, trying to help dad, and just trying to help each other.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Luke, you mentioned off camera to me that you grew up not far from Clemson, and there was a thought in a lot of people's minds that you might actually go there, but you chose Auburn, and being a part of the Auburn family, what Auburn family means. What has the support been like from your Auburn football family during this time?
Man, it's been incredible. Teammates, relationships I built, just that will last me my entire life. These people really care about me, really care about my family. Just after games, having half the team come up and speak to my folks and just kind of check on them and everything, and branching out farther, man, the fans and everybody who's been so generous throughout this GoFundMe and everything. Just, man, all the nice tweets and DMs I've gotten, it's pretty special because, like you said, the Auburn family, man, there's not many things like it. And I'm definitely seeing it firsthand right now.
So speaking of the Auburn family, the GoFundMe was actually started by a teammate of yours, Nick Brahms. Did he talk to you before he started the GoFundMe? What did he say to you when he found out and you had realized he organized this event for your dad?
Well, Nick's a great guy. He comes from a great family. His mom and dad have been crucial in this. They've just been so supportive, and so is he. So, no, he really didn't talk to me. He kind of just said, "Hey, is it okay if I do this?" As he was kind of doing it. So, I mean, it's just really just an incredible thing. I kind of was shocked. My family, my mom and dad were like, "Man, why would anybody just sit there and do this for us?" And man, it's special. Nick's a special guy, and it's been really cool to see how the guys have had my back, and like I said, just building those relationships.
Yeah, I appreciate you talking about that. I think, as football players, fans tend to forget the humanity part, which is why we're glad to have you on tonight. So, listen, I want you to talk to me a little bit about you personally. Like, where are you finding the strength? What do you draw strength from to support your father and your family during this time?
Well, surprisingly, I'm finding it through him, which he's just, I mean, that just speaks to who he is. He's the backbone of our family, always has been, and he always will be. That's when anybody's struggling, we kind of look to him and look to his strength, just to see how it's affecting him and how he's just taking it and just fighting so hard right now. That's kind of what's been my motivation to fight forward and to keep doing what I'm doing here at Auburn, and then to keep going back and just having as much family time that I could spend with them.
Yeah. In closing this portion, because at the end of this, I'm going to tell everybody how they can support your dad. But what's the one thing that you want everybody out there to know about ALS and what they can do to help fight this disease?
Yeah, so it's a rare disease. So you don't hear about it as much as other ones, but it is serious, and it is just an awful disease. But there's something we can do about it. Of course, everybody's been so generous with the GoFundMe, but in terms of just the disease as a whole, you can call your state senator because people need to access some treatments that are stuck in clinical trials and stuff like that. And state senate is trying to vote on these things. So wherever you're from, if you're watching this, just if you would call your state senator and just help us fight against this disease, man, because it's one that can't be fought alone, and it hasn't been so far. And I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, Mike, and that the Auburn family is doing.
Listen, Luke, I appreciate you taking some time to talk to us a little about this. We talk about the Auburn family. We certainly have the War Rapport family. They're all here with us tonight watching. So part of having family is nobody has to do all the heavy lifting alone. So we ask our listeners for something every week, and I would like everybody to visit this GoFundMe for Luke's dad. I'm getting a little emotional talking about it, but the idea here is as family, we don't have to go through things alone. We can support each other, we can lift each other up, and sometimes just if everybody gave $1, if every Auburn family member that hears this gave $1, we could make a huge dent and help a part of our family fight this disease. So, Luke, thanks for taking some time, man, to talk to us about it. I'm bringing the fellas back in here to talk a little football for a second with Luke. He's our first current player to come on the show, so it's for a good cause. Luke, I want to kick this off by asking you, what's this first season been like for you under first-year head coach Brian Harsin, man? How's it been?
Yeah, it's been different, but it's been great. It's been it's been a change in culture. I think that's kind of what he was trying to do when he got in, was establish similar things that he established up in at Boise State. And man, I've enjoyed, like I said earlier, we were talking about relationships. I've enjoyed this team. I've enjoyed my guys and just fighting with them. I mean, it started in the summer. I know you guys are gonna talk to me a little bit about a couple other things, but this season's been good. I've been able to really just refine my technique and just try to grow as a player. And like I said, just being able to be a part of a team like this has been so good.
Luke, talk to me real quick about you and the tight end room. The moment you guys found out that y'all were going to actually be getting the ball this year.
Yeah, man.
How was that for you guys?
Yeah, I know that's a popular topic among the Auburn family. So, man, we've been really excited about it. We've been just loving it, and just being a part of an offense as a whole, being able to help our team in that sense has been really cool, man. And yeah, it's been different. Like I said earlier, it's been different because we weren't used to that. We were used to a different role, and now that this role is kind of expanded, I mean, it's been great. I got to catch my first career touchdown, and that was just a feeling that, it's something you can't explain. Something that makes me proud, makes my family proud, and it's something really, really cool.
Yeah, Luke, I want to talk a little bit. There's definitely been a transition with the staff, but talk to me about your position coach. He's been a fan favorite. He's been one of those high energy guys. Talk to us a little bit about the guy that rallies the troops in the tight end room.
Yeah, and he's a fan favorite for good reason. He's a great guy, great coach. He's been in the league. He's been all over the place, and the guy knows his stuff. So we feel like we're developing every day. I feel like I'm getting coached harder than I've ever been coached before in my life. And that's what you want. And on top of that, he builds relationships. So yeah, fan favorite. He deserves it. I know some people like watching him take his sprints around the field on game day. He's a big dude, but he can run a little bit too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, he's been great.
Luke, you're talking about hard coaching. I want to talk about Coach Jeff Pittman because we're big strength and conditioning guys here. So tell us about what kind of stuff he has you guys doing in the weight room, and what that has been like since in the transition from the last coaching staff.
Yeah, love Coach Russell. Also love Coach Pittman. So I've been blessed to have two really good coaches for strength and conditioning. A little bit different styles. Coach Russell, in my opinion, was a little more speed style, and Coach Pitt's a little more old school power style. I mean, we're loading the bars up with weight. We're pushing it. I mean, we had some guys squatting really, really high numbers that I almost can't count to. Yeah, just that power, that loading that weight. That's kind of what we've been harping on, and just setting goals for this season back in the spring, and just trying to just meet those goals every single day.
So when y'all were in the weight room, give us an example of something you did that had you questioning if you wanted to keep playing football. Like, what had y'all screaming? What had you and the other tight ends going, come on, man, is he serious this summer?
I don't know if you guys are going to interview any other current players, but they'd all have the same answer is what I'm going to tell you. So it's not in the weight room, but doing those decks up on the stadiums, running every stadium. The stadiums are not just little steps. If you know those top bleachers, so it's almost like a jump from bleacher to bleacher all the way to the top. And yeah, you get to the top, and there's some days where you just don't want to come back down. Every Thursday morning at 6 a.m., those decks hurt, and you feel them for the rest of the week until it's time to go again. So that's definitely it. I've never done anything like it in my life.
Wow.
There's a sense of pride, though, at the end where you look down and look into your own home stadium and just say, man, I did that. But during it, no, you don't think about that. That's after. During it, that's one of the worst things I've ever done in my life.
Luke, talk to me about how was it during the start of winter workouts, the moment you saw Brian Harsin walk into the weight room with you guys early in the morning. Talk about kind of what went through your mind, other players' mind, to see the head coach actually in the trenches with you guys getting in a workout.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that make me really respect Coach Harsin. The first is that he treats all of us the same. I think he really, truly does that. The second is he practices what he preaches, man. I mean, he was in there and he was doing weight just like us. And so it really takes it out of your mind to ever want to complain or anything else, because you're like, okay, this guy's doing it too, and he's way older than us. I hope I can do that when I'm his age one day instead of just laying down in a recliner like I may be doing.
Luke, while we're on strength and conditioning, because you mentioned Coach Harsin showing up in the weight room, lifting and doing some things that you don't normally see some coaches doing. But I've been wondering this all off season. I sat down and I pondered some things, and I said, I wonder who would win a 225 bench off between Coach Harsin and Coach Mason. Who you got? Who you got in the bench off?
You know what? Coach Mason is man, he's one of my favorite coaches on staff. He's an incredible dude, and he gets fired up too. But I'm going to have to take Harsin because I've seen Harsin in there pushing some serious weight.
Okay, all right. He's pushing the big boy weight, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take him.
Yeah, I need to get those. I'm trying to organize a lift off for charity between the two of them with these with these this new strength and conditioning program that you guys have. Luke, I really appreciate you joining us today. We did have one comment from a subscriber from Stephen Nash. He says, when you catch that touchdown and turn around and see 87,000 people going crazy, what's in your head?
Man, it's just like I said, it's one of those moments that you just got to capture it and just take it all in. I looked at every single angle of the entire stadium and just took it in, man. And then after that, just having my teammates excited for me on the sideline, there's nothing like it. It's just one of the greatest moments of my life. And I'm very happy to have been a part of this team so far, and I'm ready to make some more of those memories.
Yeah. What's the competition like in the tight end room? All four of you guys caught touchdown passes this year.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing to say. What's the competition been like in the tight end room? How do you guys motivate each other?
Yeah, I mean, every day in practice, there's competition every day, and I mean, whatever you put on film, that's kind of what your resume is. So even going through these bowl practices and spring ball and everything else next year, I mean, that's how it's going to be. Every single day is a competition. And that's how it is at every position. That it's college football, and if somebody's not getting it done, somebody else will step in, or it'll make the other guy work that much harder. So,
well, Luke, I want to close it out by just asking you. You guys obviously drew Houston in the bowl game, in the Birmingham Bowl, 11-2. They lost their championship game to Cincinnati, who was obviously going on to the playoff. Can you talk about what this bowl game means to you guys as a team and what goals you have as a team between now and the bowl game?
Yeah, so in the past, haven't really since I've been here, we haven't done very well in bowl games, and that's something that I kind of take personal. That I'd like to finish this season up strong, and as a leader of this football team, just try to rally everybody around, because Houston's a good football team, a really good football team. You saw how they played. They won a bunch of games in a row until they got beat by, obviously, a college football playoff team. So, man, they're a good football team, but just finishing up strong. I mean, that's really the motto, is finish everything you do. No sense in quitting now. We're in here, and I know it didn't go the way we wanted to in the Iron Bowl, but I feel like the way we laid it all out on the line, that's how every game needs to be. That's how this bowl game needs to be. That's how we need to treat it. So,
listen, man, Luke, I appreciate you joining us today, giving us a little bit of your time to tell us about your dad and also talk a little Auburn football. I just want to remind everybody, this is where you can go donate. I'm going to drop this in the description, in the chat of the video. We're going to put this link in the community. Please, guys, if you have it in your heart, anything you have to just let's chip away at this a little at a time as the Auburn family. The goal is $300,000. The last time I checked, I think it's just over 80. So we have a ways to go, but it's been an incredible effort so far by a lot of very generous people to help get this GoFundMe to this point. Let's keep it going. Let's hit that goal, and let's help our Auburn family member fight his fight with ALS. So, Luke, thanks for joining us, dude.
Mike, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
War
Luke.
Eagle to you, sir.
War Eagle, man.
Guys, this is a reminder that you are watching the Wednesday Night War Room. We pause to acknowledge the sponsors of the War Rapport.
The War Report's Wednesday Night War Room is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. Our betting partner, BUSR. Bet with confidence at BUSR.com/report. University Ace Hardware, located at 2101 East University Drive in Auburn, Alabama, right across the street from the Auburn Mall and next to the movie theater. For all of your hardware needs, Ace is the place. And our giveaway sponsor, GWT2 Energy. If you want the best in the business at restaurant logistics, check out our friends at GWT2Energy.com.
Come on, guys, become an insider already. We are bringing you hella content here on a Wednesday night. Shout out to Luke Deal for coming on to talk to us a little bit about what his dad's going through and talk about the season and the bowl game. We appreciate Luke becoming an insider. Help support us so we can keep this kind of content coming for you guys, man. Being an insider is about being part of a family where we can come and talk Auburn football. $5.99 will get you there. Just head to our YouTube channel, click that join button, and join our community. We're partnered with the Lee County Humane Society. You guys know the deal. This link's in the About section of our YouTube channel. You can go there. And 50 cents on every dollar goes to the Lee County Humane Society. So in addition to donating to Luke's dad, if you guys have a little extra and you want to help save the puppies, hashtag save all the puppies, you can go here to do that. If you missed it at the top of the broadcast, we're giving away a t-shirt. Hey, you. Hashtag get your weight up. A number of you have done this already because you know the drill. This is brought to you by GWT2 Energy. That's our guy Walt Taylor in the comments. Hashtag get your weight up. Check your spelling so it counts when we draw. And we're going to pull at the 1 hour mark. We're on podcasts, people. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, SoundCloud. I'm struggling to get them out right now, but you guys know where you listen to podcasts. Go download us on podcasts, leave a review, give us 5 stars, help us grow that segment of the War Rapport as well. Special shout out to our sponsor, BUSR. Bet with confidence at BUSR.com/rapport. Every sign up helps us. You can support us by supporting our sponsors. And last but not least, we're giving away tickets to the Birmingham Bowl. People, listen, we're giving away a lot of tickets to the Birmingham Bowl, and we have grouped you guys all together. I'm going to be there. Ike's going to be there. The other guys might be there too. We're going to come down and see you guys at the Birmingham Bowl on the 28th of this month. So if you want a chance to win these tickets, tune into the War Rapport Sunday, as well as sign up for our email list. So I dropped a message in the community with this link. Go to the community, visit that link, get on that email list so we know how to contact you should you so happen to win. We're going to be giving away tickets a variety of ways. So we'll raffle some off live. We're going to do a behind-the-scenes raffle for some of you who responded to that community post. Can't wait to see you guys all at the Birmingham Bowl in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. And Bryson Bridges, appreciate you. He says, did y'all go back and watch Harsin roll his eyes when he heard Mike G's voice on that last presser? I know someone mentioned it last time. Still hilarious. I have yet to go back and check it out, though.
Hey, listen, he rolled his eyes in person when I met him at first. So he's consistent, right? No, but he was very gracious in talking to me after the Iron Bowl. We spent about 10 to 15 minutes just kind of chopping it up about the future and you know, why he wants to be here and why this is the place for him. So I appreciate Coach Harsin for taking the time.
Indeed, indeed. Well, listen, before we get into some of the topics surrounding Auburn as of late, the regular season has come to a close. So the next time we do predictions, it will be bowl season. Now, we're only doing the SEC games and the playoff, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. So we still got some time, but here's where we stand at the end of the regular season. Drum roll. Thanks, Mike G. Here it goes. So last week, B and I went 5-1. Mike G went 4-2, and Ike didn't care. Ike did not care. He made it clear to you muted, by the way. Ike, you muted, by the way.
Oh, I told y'all I flipped a coin, man. It is what it is.
But yeah, that's why I'm not giving you a hard time, because you've been consistent in your attitude that you did not care about the SEC championship as well as other games. You came in.
I didn't care about none of them conference championship games.
None of it. You was over it after the Iron Bowl. I got it. That still leaves you in last place, but Mike G is 84-26. Me and B are deadlocked for first at 88-22. I'm gonna break that tie.
I squandered my lead, man. I can't be mad at myself because I took the same risk I took early in the season that paid off did not pay off later. So I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to take those risks, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. The beauty of this is it's still anybody's game depending on how you pick the bowl games.
Bowl season's crazy.
That is very true.
I mean, we're picking 13 games, so anybody could still win this.
And
could be
even
be a
more than
bloodbath.
that is it is much harder to pick bowl games because
Much
we
harder.
have far less data on those other teams. We haven't watched them like we've watched these teams. Players are going to be sitting out. It makes it drastically different. It's going to be luck. I promise you we'll all pick somebody to win a game that seems easy, and then it's going to go the opposite way. Bowl season is usually crazy, so it's going to be a
nuts.
wild finish.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
I will actually try to pick the bowl games though.
Okay, thank you, man.
Okay.
Thank you for
All right.
participating.
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. Don't throw the contest, right? Yeah. Maintain the integrity of the competition.
I just didn't care about them daggone conference championships game. I'm sorry. I was just like, I don't care who wins Utah versus Oregon, and I wanted both Bama and Georgia to lose. So
Me too. Me too. Yeah. All good. It's
I just
all good.
I refused to pick one of those teams. I was like, the turf monster.
Well,
The beers at the stadium. That's who won.
well, guys, it's a Wednesday night for no reason. I just want you to know. I see Corey Dub in the comment section. A few of you guys who keeps this tradition on. Just want to let you know, just randomly, for no reason at all. Virginia double dribble.
They
okay?
did.
Absolutely.
They did.
Just
100%.
want you guys to know that happened. Okay, you see what he's doing? That's a double dribble. All right.
Man,
I
what
need
is
names
this
of
about?
refs.
What is this about, Uzi?
I know. Uzi, you dead to me, man. You
My
dead
guy.
to me.
I don't know
My
about
guy.
Uzi. I don't know about Uzi.
About to block you from this from this
used
chat.
to be one of my
Uzi, what-
favorite commenters.
You've been
Uzi, what
muted
I-
for 5 minutes.
What I would say,
Mute
what I
his
would say,
ass.
Uzi, is that sometimes in life people not gonna like the decisions you make. But you gotta be convinced.
I'm
in what
muting
you
your
doing.
ass now, right now. You muted. You muted. We ain't here for him no more. That's it.
Jazzy Joe in
can
here. We
unmute.
need a War Rapport meeting spot for the game when we come up here for the Birmingham Bowl. So maybe we try to figure out
We'll
some place
figure that
where we
out.
can link up. Lee Band says, "Great interview. Luke is a grown man. Hope we have more grown men in this team." Facts, man. Luke's
Facts,
a good
that's a
dude,
fact.
man.
I
He
agree.
was really cool chopping it up before the show. I wish him all the success in the world. I liked what he was putting out there on the field. He is good. He's the kind of tight end you want. He's a hardworking blocking guy, and he's gonna catch the ball when it's thrown in his direction. I don't know how many drops he had this season, but it wasn't very many if he had any.
Zero drops.
So listen, you want that guy on the field. He's gonna block hard and he's gonna catch the ball. What more
Yeah.
can you ask for from your tight end?
Yeah, man, I liked what he had to say about laying it all out on the line in the Iron Bowl and then taking that attitude into every game. Right. So I think if everybody has this attitude, the future is very bright for this team. It kind of signals to me that they're working hard on whatever the game plan is, what the coaches want them to do. When you actually get to talk to the players, I'm actually very, very encouraged about the direction of this program. And they really all seem behind this coach, the ones that I've talked to. So yeah, it's good.
Listen, let's talk about a few guys on this team who recently was acknowledged. 3 of these gentlemen made the All-SEC team.
Yeah.
They are as follows. Roger McCreary made the first team. Well deserved.
Facts.
It would be robbery if he didn't. This season, he had 49 tackles, 41 solo, 14 pass breakups. I think that was he led the conference, if I'm not mistaken. I think I read that somewhere. 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and that monster in the middle right there. Zacoby McClain made the second team. 95 tackles, 55 solo. He had 8 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 6 pass breakups. And Derek Hall, who also made the second team, only registered 51 tackles, 33 solo, but he had 12 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. 2 forced fumbles. 1, if you recall, was that Arkansas game, which led to a score. These are your All-SEC players. Congrats to these gentlemen. I'm just going to stop just each of you guys. Ike, I'll start with you, man. Your thoughts on these men earning this distinction at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, if not for the fact that Nakobe Dean existed, Zacoby McClain is first team All SEC. Like,
Yeah.
listen, you can't discount what Dean has done at Georgia, right? So I won't say that Jacoby got robbed. He just plays the same position as the guy who anchored the best defense in the country for the vast majority of the year. But in my opinion, he's just as good a player. He's not getting the looks he deserves, I think, at the next level, though. So we'll see. I wish him the best of luck.
Is that a size issue, you think?
More than likely, it's a size issue. But listen, I mean, you can't, with the productivity for 2 years straight, how can you argue with it? Like, I don't care how big the dude is. Mike Singletary was undersized. Like, there's just a lot of guys that played middle linebacker at a really high level that were undersized. And he just has the instincts, and he knows how to go tackle people, clearly. He's not missing a lot of them either. Derek Hall, well-deserved, worked really hard this season. He was a monster off the edge. Can't say enough about Roger McCreary, though. Like, it's one of those things where for entire games, people were just like, just don't throw it to that dude's side. Just anywhere else. It made some of our other cornerbacks get picked on a little bit for good reason. But listen, Roger McCreary, he's a shutdown corner. He deserves everything that he is going to get at the next level because that man should be playing on Sundays and should be first 2 rounds. If he gets out of the second round, somebody wasn't doing their job.
Yeah, a lot of people have him projected as a first rounder coming out of this season. So we'll
just kind of how the chips fall and who's picking where and what the need is. But like you can't miss on a shutdown corner.
No shortage of cornerbacks though. Like there's always a need for those guys, right? You have to think so.
That's fact.
B, your thoughts, man. I'm going to ask you. I guess I can ask you now. Is there any guys that you felt should have been all SEC? Any guys that you wouldn't?
I know. So last half of the season, he didn't get the numbers necessarily. He was playing tackle. He just didn't get the same type of penetration and tackles for loss later as he had early in the season. But his presence down there was still felt. He was still very productive. He graded out really well for the season. But again, when you've got, the D lineman that played for Georgia, Bama's Will Anderson, you weren't going to get ahead of those guys because they kind of have the spotlight way before the season starts. So unless you outperform them in raw metrics, raw numbers, you're not going to get it. I think we had a facts and all question early before the season started asking if we were going to get 2 guys in double digits. I think we got close. I think we were like, because Hall had 9.5. I think Wooden had like 8. I don't remember exactly how many he had, but that defensive line, man, I'm so proud of them, man. I'm proud. We saw this coming. We saw Hall stepping up. We saw Wooden stepping up, and both of those guys improving. Oh, man, I'm selling short. More tackles for loss than sacks, I guess. So.
He did have a lot of tackles for loss, though.
Yeah. But I still say I understand how if you're defensive lineman,
Moultrie that was up there that high that you're thinking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it may have been Moultrie. All across that front. If you add up all those tackles for loss, man, and those sacks, our defensive front played a really good season. We had an outstanding season, whether they were ends or outside linebackers like Leota. He was in there to rush the passer. I would count him as a defensive lineman if we were talking about fronts. But I'm really proud of those boys. I would like to see Wooden on there. But, yeah, just proud of those guys, man. And I think Roger McCreary is going to be top 15 in the draft.
Should be.
Yeah. He should be. I would be shocked if he makes it out the first round.
I see some people already at it, Ike. Talking about somebody. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Mike G, man, your thoughts on these guys making all SEC, man. And do you think it's a possibility that we get to see any of these guys for a last hurrah in the bowl game?
Well, maybe Derek Hall. I was thinking out loud there for a second. Maybe Derek Hall. Maybe I would be disappointed if Roger or Jacoby played.
Yeah.
Because they may not both get taken in the first round, but they're both first round talent. Yeah. So I'm not risking first down money to come back and play Houston in a bowl game.
Right.
You got nothing left to prove. So get your bag. We appreciate your services, War Eagle. see you at the next bowl game on the sideline to support. There's zero reason for those guys to play. Not that's good for them. So, like I said, the two of them may not get taken in the first round. I think one of them will get taken in the first round. And like Ike said, a lot of it is just who's picking where and what their needs are at the time. So, if one of those guys slips to second round, that wouldn't be a shocker. I think Roger is probably the most likely to be taken first round because having a guy who can just shut down his side of the field, I don't care what team you are. That's hard to pass up if he's the best guy available on the board when it's time for your pick and you don't have another urgent, immediate need to fill. You take Roger McCreary. That's it. I mean, he was an absolute monster this year. Derek Hall had a surprising season to me, man. Like I enjoyed watching him play football this season. So it'll be tough to see him go, but it is what it is. And Jazzy Joe has been muted for 5 minutes, so let's go ahead and get that mute going. Yeah, man, I'm proud of these guys. Interesting that our all SEC selections came on defense, right? For defense, a lot of people complained about, man, we had some all SEC players on there. And again, we were close to something really special defensively this year. It was year one of a new system, so I think it didn't all come together the way I thought it would in year one. But it gives me hope for the future, though, that if we keep producing these type talents, hopefully Dylan Brooks is the next Zacoby and some.
Yeah. I think what was impressive to me about Derek Hall is like you had Aku Leota, you had Moultrie, you had other guys who were making noise coming off the edge, and so for him to still make all SEC and put up the numbers he did is impressive because it wasn't like he was the only guy they were asking to bring pressure off the edge. Yeah. So I think that's what he kind of, compared to the other two guys, he had a tendency to fall under the radar. But, if you're keeping, track of what those guys are doing defensively, he was definitely one of the more productive guys on the team. So kudos to all of those guys, man. And I agree, the selfish part of me wants to see these guys play one last time, one last hurrah. But, yeah. So this is what Jazzy Joe got put in timeout for. In case you didn't see it, my dog, Grant Lloyd, All SEC, War Eagle. That was for you. Bryson Bridges, they can't mute all
the power of family. they can't go. They paying money.
Yeah, so we got an interesting question here about the health update for TJ in the bowl game. I thought that was something that would be really
Speaking
interesting.
of quarterbacks.
TJ's playing. TJ is playing.
All accounts say that TJ will be playing in our bowl game, starting in the bowl game. So the question is, who will be his backup? I don't have the answer to that because I'm not on the coaching staff. But TJ is slotted to be back and ready to go for the Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah, no questions.
Thank God, because if I saw Grant Lloyd, man, that was going to be what determined whether or not I made that trip to Birmingham. Because if that's Grant Lloyd, I'm not going. Y'all can be up there drinking and high-fiving Grant Lloyd play quarterback. I will not be.
Interesting.
Ike wouldn't make the trip to Birmingham. He lives in Birmingham. So.
I'm saying.
TJ's playing. He's going to be there. I got that update from a source that knows him well.
Apparently his dad said that it was on Twitter that it was just an ankle sprain, so he should be good to go by the time.
They were cautious. They were overly cautious with it, I think, is what it looks like. So
they needed to be.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
They needed to be.
Well, they weren't overly cautious in the game because they made sure they kept him out there like they knew it was just a sprain.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I guess they had already seen a break earlier that year. They're like, it wasn't that.
You ain't limping as hard as he was. You good. Get back out there.
Right.
William, appreciate you, man. Mike G, how many sets are you doing at the end? Improv tonight.
Listen, I had to turn my desk around. I can't have y'all looking into my place. Then I got to clean up. So no, you look at this fake brick wall back here.
You let them get on you about them blinds. You should have said, "Man, screw that. I'm keeping my blinds." Now you change it up and you getting roasted.
C's bookcase all the time.
They talk about the bookcase.
Listen,
I used to have a real big chair behind
I like
me.
the bricks. I'm gonna put a nice little War Rapport sticker.
That
right
is
here.
pretty funny though. The improv. That's pretty funny.
It does.
I have multiple backgrounds. Sunday, I'm gonna hit y'all with another background. You're not even gonna know what happened. You're gonna be like, "Where'd the brick wall? How did he tear down the brick?"
It's gonna be like a New York City street storefront. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something
Man,
different
listen.
every couple of weeks.
Somebody was like, "That's the alley where Bruce Wayne's parents got killed."
Whoever it was it John? I don't know. If you in the chat, listen, man. Please come back and re-roast Mike's backdrop.
Yeah, I was
that was fun. That was
That was the
fantastic.
best one.
Yeah,
That was the
real
best
stupid.
one.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
need-
That's good.
The Waynes got killed.
That is funny. Erica
Yo,
Radney, my family is from Gadsden, so yeah, man. Shouts out to the Gadsden
Hey.
people out there, man.
B. Will
That's
sipping tea.
what's- That is what's up. So, guys, should we continue this discussion by just talking about what everyone's talking about with this offensive coordinator search?
What we're looking for offensive coordinator?
I
You
didn't
know
know.
I-
Did we knew one? I thought we was good. I thought we was good on that.
I hadn't heard, so
So, well, you have to because people keep asking us every day what's
Right.
going to happen.
and the roast.
So
continues.
obviously,
Yes. Keep doing it. We will play. Just keep super chatting, and I'll get a new background every live show. Funded by you guys. They're only $10 a piece, people.
so obviously it was going to be Zach Hill, the offensive coordinator. Clearly, that's
All
who.
signs
That's
point
who
to.
the guy. And Arizona State just dragged their feet when Auburn reached out to them to get information on whether or not Zach Hill will be implicated in what will be an impending investigation by the NCAA. And so Auburn had a deadline. The deadline came and went, and Auburn moves on. So, of course, we've been hearing a lot of different names. One is, what's the guy's name out in Seattle, Mike G?
Austin Davis.
Austin Davis is one. I've heard Kenny Dillingham's name being mentioned.
Yeah,
I know,
AL.com reported that one. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, man.
Well,
I think they got bored and just started throwing stuff out there.
I think it's a reach too, but based on what I'm hearing, like Harson's going for guys who, some of the guys who've been mentioned don't have a lot of coordinator experience in terms of play calling, right? So what we're hearing and what it seems like is that Harsin, something that you mentioned, Ike, recently, is that Harsin is going to be really involved in the offense this upcoming season. Could that mean that he's actually the one calling plays next season?
That's what's being floated around right now is that he's interested in calling plays. So the OC pick is going to be doing more coordinating than play calling. Listen, man, I'll never fault anybody for betting on themselves. He made a career as a play caller. So I can't say it's a terrible idea.
As long as he don't turn into Gus again, then then I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
But
as
listen,
long
the
as
last
we're
head
not
coach we
doing-
had that was doing all the play calling crap didn't work out too well for the offense.
Does Lane Kiffin call plays? Is he a play caller?
No,
I think
He's
Levy
not?
does it.
he lets
Okay.
Levy do it.
Okay, yeah.
He the guy with the analyst sheet actually calls all the plays. He got that's who decides everything for Lane. Lane is actually just AI. He doesn't actually exist.
Question: Do you think in that binder is only one page with two boxes? One says yes, the other says no, and he just looks
So-
down and just picks one?
It's a flow chart. See, it is. Is it fourth down? Yes. Is it? Is the distance to go
is it less
less
than
than 20
5?
yards?
Oh, yeah, what?
Is it less than 20 yards? Yes.
Then go to the next one.
Are you on at least your own 20-yard line? Yes. Go for it.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Jerome, appreciate you, man.
It's actually
Waiting
just
on-
one big sheet of paper that says "Go for it."
Right.
Bring out the gimp.
Waiting on Papa Smurf to stand behind Mike and yell out, "Bring out the gimp."
Do it. Do it.
Keep them
Yeah.
coming, y'all. And
Yep,
we know,
keep going.
okay,
$5 I'm gonna start charging y'all $10 for these roasts. Damn it.
Corey Dub, Joe Brady passing. This is another name we've heard mentioned.
Hey, listen. I'll go even a step further. I heard they've actually contacted him.
Yeah, that's been reported pretty widely.
They've actually contacted him. So we'll see. I mean, he's just because they contacted him doesn't mean he's interested in coming here.
Right.
But I heard that was
Call Joe Montana tomorrow. He's like, oh, man,
yeah,
nice talking to you.
Yeah, he
Have a
took
good
the
day.
call, right? But it doesn't mean he's up for it. But I would be okay with a Joe Brady hire if Harsin is calling plays, because if you've got again a marquee mind who can see the field in that way, help you do some things that you haven't done before or haven't seen before, and then you're the guy calling the plays. He's got to listen. He can't go 6-6 again. So
Right.
I'm a bet on himself. That's what calling plays is. That's a bet on myself. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what the vision was supposed to be, and if it works, you're a genius, and then people will not question your next offensive coordinator. They won't question your next hire.
It's definitely it's definitely have to work though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it has to work if he goes that route.
Right.
So
Now, my question would be,
there's no
if
scapegoat.
if a hypothetical Joe Brady hire does occur, do we have the pieces to make it work? Joe Brady had a really good quarterback. He had some outstanding dynamic wide receivers and a really good running back. LSU's offensive line wasn't fantastic. It hadn't been in quite a few years, but
They gave up 36 sacks that season.
right. But when you got the trigger man and everybody else is great, then it can work. Do we have great enough pieces?
Yeah, I don't know
For
if I
that to
like
work.
that argument. I think a good system makes a lot of those guys look great too, as well. It works both ways.
I mean, they
Look
playing
great.
pretty great at the next level too, though.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
difference.
I
They
see
are
Jefferson
great.
out there clowning.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
to a
I'm not
man,
saying
those guys
the
are snapping.
system made them. I'm just saying that, you know what, a good system will help you maximize your talents as much as good players will help you maximize.
Yeah, I mean, it's an
I
interplay.
think it was a
of both of
perfect
those
marriage.
things. Yeah,
right?
you have to
Yeah.
have
It was.
the
I
right
don't,
guys.
I don't know if it's fair to expect a plug and play that we're going to run the 2019 LSU offense.
No, I don't think
would
anybody
like to
expects
think,
that.
I would like for Joe Brady
There's
to
a
tinker.
lot of people who expect that. That's
Yeah.
the problem. A lot
Bless
of people
your-
think
bless their-
you plug
bless
Joe
their
Brady
hearts.
in, and all of a sudden our
Bless their
offense
hearts.
turns into the 2019 LSU.
But we don't have
offense,
to
and
be
that's silly.
2019 LSU good to win 3 or 4 more games this year.
I
One
don't
touchdown
disagree with
better
you.
in most of our games, and we're either tired of
9-3,
winning.
10-2. Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about fan expectations. You guys are talking sensible, like people on the War Report do. You're not talking about normal Auburn fans. I'm talking about Auburn fans out there who are screaming Joe Brady, think that he is going to come in and revolutionize this offense in 1 year like he did at LSU, and we are going to turn into a top 10 offense, and whoever the quarterback is going to be a Heisman contender the very next year. Because
Yeah, see-
Joe Brady has special passing games sprinkled fairy dust that he puts over offenses.
Yeah, those were all the Bo Nix is a dark horse for the Heisman candidate people from last year. Same people, right? And we don't need that. We did not need to put that on Bo, just like we don't need to put that on our next offensive coordinator. Right? We just have to be a little better in that things that we were doing. The play calling, how many games would you say of the 5 that we lost?
3
Or 6 that we lost. Oh, hurts. Came down to play calling.
3 easily, a 4th one down
Yeah.
to personnel
There you go.
decisions.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's 9-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, better play calling is 9-3 without any other pieces change.
Yeah, I would argue we probably win Penn State, South Carolina,
even the Iron Bowl.
And Mississippi State.
yeah, Mississippi State probably with better play calling, better personnel decisions second half of the Iron Bowl with TJ not playing on a hurt ankle. We probably win that game as well.
Yeah.
Better play call on 4th down in the Iron Bowl. We probably win that game as well.
Right.
We don't do that. Like there, I could just run down a list of this was terrible decisions that I think directly led to us losing that game.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not screaming about the personnel when it comes to Joe Brady. I'm just saying we acknowledge that coaching was the difference in 3 to 4 games this season. So you change out the offensive coordinator, you keep a lot of the pieces the same, and you just do a lot better. And that's assuming that our defense plays at the same level as it did last year, as
Right,
well,
which
too.
is a big.
Yeah, it's a
okay,
big if.
okay. So let me get this super chat by Jazzy Joe, referring to Harsin. He doesn't have the leash Malzahn had, of course, because Malzahn almost won a national championship in year one. He went 6-6 his first year, so he needs to get it right. I agree.
I don't think he ever had the leash Malzahn had. Like,
Never.
I think
Right.
he could have had an amazing year this year, and the powers that be would have just waited for him to slip up again. Like, I just think
And he would have
that's
been
the
right
kind
where
of-
he is now.
That's the lot that he has chosen, is to perpetually be in a space of I'm coaching for my career at Auburn. Now, it didn't help him out that he went 6-6, but I think that, you know, to your point, to Jazzy Joe's point, that 6-6 year didn't help him out a lot at all, and I don't know that he can afford another 6-6 season.
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
agree. We can
Yeah.
agree with. We can agree.
Very
on that.
the two things that get him off the hot seat. And I am, that's in quotations, a hot seat. I think it's, wow, that could have been better. And the only reason it's a wow, that could have been better is because you saw how close we were to wins in multiple games. If he wins 2 of those, if we're 8-4, then I don't think there's any worry. Nobody's talking about anything. He's a lot less pressure on getting the OC right now and all that stuff. What he needs is, it's got to be double-digit wins or win the division. One of those two things does it.
This is the best one yet. I love the Kool-Aid Man joke, by the way.
Yeah.
That's great. You win. You win. You win.
Think about
YouTube.
that. There were some pretty dynamic
man.
punters in the SEC this season. I'm not necessarily surprised by that. I think he's a great punter. Like, don't get me wrong, but that some of the guys that punted in the SEC this season were kind of ridiculous. That Georgia punter is crazy. His leg is nuts. I think there's the kid from Kentucky. He's got a good, like, I don't even remember who the 2 that finished in front of him were. But yeah, not necessarily shocked by it. But yeah, he definitely deserves more recognition for how good he was this season, considering how poor our offense was. But like, he flipped the field by himself a few times.
Yeah.
So, before we get to this giveaway, I know Mike G said if we score at least another touchdown, we change the outcome of a few of the games we lost. Mm-hmm. Is that the same case this upcoming season? Does the defense take a bit of a step back? Of course, we have to wait and see how we do in the portal, because the portal changed a lot of things for us last year with us addressing some needs up front and getting some guys in the secondary. Is it possible that the offense has to improve just in case the defense does take a slight step back with Jacoby not being there, McCreary not being there? What do you guys think about that?
They got to improve no matter what. Like, but I will tell you, not having Jacoby means that, you know, we saw this season that without Jacoby McClain, our run D was almost non-existent. So that D-line has to shore up a little bit. We should see the likes of Lee Hunter a little bit more, I would say, and some other guys.
Or period.
Yeah, that have had more time in this system to see, you know, what they can do. I mean, I'm looking around college football, and I think about, like, first-year head coaches. Man, is this Mike Leach's second year?
Second year.
Right, yeah. Last year, they
Lane
went
Kiffin's second year.
They went 3-7 last year.
Right.
Mississippi State did under Mike Leach. And then look what they did this year. Right?
What
With
did
a year.
What did Kiffin do?
First year was 4-6, wasn't it?
Yeah,
something-
losing
it
record.
was pretty poor.
Yeah, right. And then look at second year. I'm just saying, you know, once you having guys for a year in your system, and then they go into the next year understanding clearly what the assignments are, what the expectations are. They're able to play a little faster because they've now done it for one whole season and 2 off seasons. Makes a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, people should be encouraged by, I know it's disappointing, but we should be encouraged by how close they were to something special in year one, because a lot of other people's year ones didn't go so great. And nobody was talking about firing their coaches.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look at Arkansas, first-year head coach last year.
They were 3
It's-
or
they-
3.
Yeah,
They were
losing
under
record.
500.
They were 3.
That's
They
what
were,
I'm saying,
I think
like,
they won
it's-
like 3 games, but I mean they were
There's-
winning like 2 the past
There's
2 years.
no almost every year head coach here in the SEC this season made some sort of leap, except for Drinkwitz. I think Missouri is still, but
And he can
yeah,
still finish
like,
with
I
a
just-
running record.
So
Yeah.
that's
You
what
win
I'm
this
saying.
bowl
Like,
game.
It's just too early for everybody to panic. The only thing that I will say that's different in those scenarios is the continuity at the offensive coordinator position, right? Like we didn't have any of those guys lose or fire a coordinator that high up the food chain in any of those spaces. But I don't think that the change was unwarranted. It's not as if, Ole Miss's offense looked decent last year, right? So like, why would you fire the offensive coordinator?
Yeah. They also
Right.
had
And-
offensive head coaches as well, too.
Corral
too.
looked
Yeah,
looked
so-
really shaky the first year. I mean, he turned the ball over a jillion times. And this year,
Yeah.
he looked more comfortable, more competent, more prepared. And that's why everybody was yelling. I saw a lot of this after we finished the season. Oh, well, Gus, we could have had Gus and gone better than this. Listen, that last year, we had a lot of gimmies because we had first-year coaches galore on the schedule who were going through the same thing we went through this year, man. Turnover is hard. It's not easy. You lose recruits. You lose players who have been there. You lose identities on both sides of the ball. It's not easy. We know everything was – a lot of games were possible, and that's what hurts the most about this season. So much more was possible. We saw it. We were one drive away, one play away from 9 wins, but – it'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Well, what's going to be all right is this T-shirt we giving away. So let's go ahead and
T-shirt.
Yeah, Jazzy
I got
Joe
you
said
first,
he
Mike.
agrees with Dr. Mike.
Glad you was in
on
the
his
singing mood.
analysis.
Knew that was coming.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. 107 people have entered for the AU shirt, which I am proudly rocking today, by the way. Got my AU shirt on.
Hey, you.
So let's go ahead and hit this button, man. I ain't going to belabor this point, man. Let's get to it. 107 people in this drawing. Who shall be the one? I saw Wesley Hilson twice in that mug. Reginald Tubbs. JJ was so close, man. Reginald Tubbs, if you're here, you need to do the diligence and let us know you are still in the comments. People will definitely let us know if you are not.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hold on. Can we address a couple of things that have popped up a few times in this chat? Namely, well, let me get this super chat and then we'll go to that. SS Austin, anybody else glad we got Harsin over Cristobal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal. Hold on, man.
I'm proud of him.
Miami, bro. Like, hold on. Let's talk about this from both ends of this situation. Number one, when Oregon thought Cristobal was going to leave last year, Cristobal and his agent fleeced them for more money.
But let me stop you right there. More money after the upgrade was $4.25 million.
Right.
Which means he didn't even make what Hart's making right now. But continue. So he was making less than $4 million at Oregon to start.
Understood, but they parlayed that entire coaching search into more money at Oregon, right? And the very next season, that man was like, "Thank you, but I'm out," and is dipping now to Miami, who hired him or at least started the whole conversation before they even fired the dude who has the job currently. That's disrespectful.
Ike was hot in the
That's-
Slack about this. He was
That's
he
so
was,
disrespectful, man.
Ike was hot about this.
That's savage you, as far as I'm concerned. That like they are some. That's very savage.
Hey man, the game is the game. This is the game. You
Nah,
win.
That ain't how you play this game, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, that is exactly how they play this. You
That's
know
a
what? You know what the
breezy
biggest
game.
difference though? The biggest difference is this happens and coaches know that they are out before they are out. Usually they know it and we don't know it, and then you get an announcement at the end of the season. I actually know that before, let me see, when was it? Before Tuberville got fired at the end of 2008, he and the players knew that they were going to get fired. There's a player who was on the team at that time that I know through some odd ways. And he was like, yeah, they came in and talked to us, and Tuberville, he couldn't even finish the sentence. Like, he went out like with his face in his hand, and he was in tears because he loved Auburn. He loved being there. But they knew they were going to get rid of him. The players knew. And whoever made that decision knew, but they let him finish out the season. These people know, man. They know. We don't know.
Listen,
Lincoln Riley knew he was going to USC probably 6 weeks ago.
Miami Herald is some jackasses. Man. That dude ain't even get fired, and he was like, "Yeah, they're looking for his replacement." I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't even gonna front. They already got somebody else in the wings.
They weren't wrong.
I mean, they weren't wrong, but listen. If you gonna publicize the fact that I got fired before I could tell somebody, that just feels wrong to me. I'm sorry. Don't tell me. Listen, that's my news to tell. Don't be out here talking about, the War Rapport hired Ike's replacement. I'm like, man, so can you let me tell them that I ain't working at the War Rapport no more before you telling everybody that?
Hey, he better be able to break down some film because we can't do it.
But right. But Manny doesn't get fired like the rest of us common folk. He still got a check though, right? He's still getting a check.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen,
I ain't
man,
crying no big tears for him.
Okay, I'm about to say, if I get $4 million to not work, I mean, I don't feel bad for any coach. If you got to buy out,
will he get to work again after the way this went down?
I'm sure, man. I'm sure.
All he gotta do-
He could be on somebody's staff doing
All he
something.
has to
Yeah, I'm
do-
not
all
saying it's
he
gonna be
has-
nowhere good.
All he has to do is go to the Nick Saban rehab for coaches. Yeah, all he got to do is go
Linebackers
down.
coach next year. You know what I'm saying?
He'll be fine. Be an off the field analyst. Make a little check in Tuscaloosa. Already making money. I mean, shoot.
mean,
going from Miami to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, they'll pay him like the minimum wage of coaches to sit up there in the booth somewhere and do some ridiculous job.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Easy
All
money.
right. Stuart Donald Saban went 7-6 his first year at Bama with the loss to Louisiana Monroe.
No,
Yeah.
but
Don't-
like
That
Saban
happened.
recruited really well that next year, and Saban had already won a national title at Bama. I mean, at
Yeah.
LSU. So it's
Yeah.
not the same thing. You can't make that. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing,
Same thing.
right? Yeah. People hated that when I put it out, and I was just like, you know what? It was his first year. The recruiting after the fact was not the point. People just made up their own point and then started attacking the point that they made. Right? The point was, if the greatest coach of all time can walk into a program that has been underdeveloped and lose to a lower tier school and go 7-6 in his first year, maybe we should not be calling for our coach's head.
Listen, that's
After
essentially
1
the
year.
whole point. All of the other points that people are making about Nick Saban's life prior to Alabama and what happened afterwards, completely valid points. Has nothing to do with the statement made, though. Nothing.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
separate
Right.
and apart.
It
And no one
doesn't-
is
it
saying
doesn't-
that
it
Brian
doesn't mean
Harsin
that
is
we're gonna-
definitely going to be Nick Saban moving forward. Like,
Right.
it's just like
No.
two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
When there's a lot to fix, it's not going to be a quick one. It's not going to be a quick fix.
Facts.
Absolutely.
And to their point about recruiting after the fact, anyway, he was only 1 year removed from recruiting in the SEC. So a lot of the guys he went after,
true.
he already had relationships with, because you start recruiting those kids 2 to 3 years before they're coming to your school. And for Saban offered an 8th grader once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure he still had a list of guys he wanted by the time he got
convinced.
back to Alabama.
See,
Yeah.
man, Saban on them R. Kelly vibes, man. Anyway,
Oh, my
AU
God.
DJ fan said Texas
Whoa.
did the same thing to Tom,
Whoa.
but because nobody likes Tom, it didn't matter.
It happens, man. It happens.
It's still not right. It don't
You
matter
know what's
if
not
it
right?
happens.
You know what's not right? Losing as many games as Miami lost this season. And in what, Manny's 3rd year or 4th year?
Third.
I didn't say to man. Listen,
Fourth.
we're- again,
Third or
two
fourth.
things can be true at the same time. Manny Diaz can deserve to have lost his job and didn't deserve to be treated like that in the process, right?
You know what he had the right to do, though? He had the right to go, man, screw y'all. Y'all gonna fire me anyway. I'm walking out. Well, no, because he went and got his money. Never mind.
He went and got his money.
Yeah.
That's right.
Man, he was at home.
Hey,
He was
Blacker
at
be in the
home.
comments. Appreciate that very much, sir.
Hey,
Zach.
Jackie Black. Hey, listen, go over. Stop. Listen, if you have not done it, go into your YouTube search, type in "Locked on Auburn" and hit subscribe. Zach is over there working hard, bringing the other side of Auburn content, making
Do
sure that we
it.
have a variety of Auburn content out
Do
here
it.
to consume. I listen.
And
every
nobody
week.
in our comment section say anything crazy about Blackerby, man. Listen, I don't. Y'all be nice to our people, man.
Yeah. Listen.
He is part of the family.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
don't
we-
talk about your family.
You do not. If you want,
I
know
do.
who's
I just
not,
talk
I'll
about it to
tell
their
you.
face. So when we
That's
go
called
on
a,
Locked
that's
On,
called
we'll
a
just scribble them
family.
there.
That's called a family meeting. You don't do that publicly.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Well, maybe you do. I don't know.
Oh, maybe you do. Some families are dysfunctional. All right, AU
You think
fan.
chatting-
Oh, you got
hold
one?
on. I already hit AU fans, unless there's another one about Tom after the Tom. Anyway, let's see. We've been chatting for over an hour. Have we mentioned Bruce yet? Flanny's back at practice.
He is.
with them.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. They
He's
announced
back
it.
at
They announced it a
practice.
day or so ago. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's on.
It is on.
Now it's gonna take a minute. I don't expect him to come out there like getting a steal and then windmilling
Yeah.
on the other end. Get by
If
mid-January.
I was about to say, if he's ready by mid to late January, man, he'll be in a good place to make the run towards
Yeah.
March.
Bruh.
Again, I look at in the pro level. I look at what's happening with. I mean, more severe injury, but Klay Thompson with the Warriors. He's been practicing with them for a minute now, but
Yeah.
they've been taking their time with him, and I'm pretty
That's
sure
more
that's what
Clay's
they're gonna
decision,
do.
though. Clay said he doesn't want to go out there until he feels 100%. He could probably play right now, but he doesn't
Yeah.
like feeling like he's 60, 70%. Jazzy Joe jumps in. Watch out, because Harsin could still pull a beast recruiting class. Listen, he can.
Yeah,
He can.
We're
Now-
in it. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
I've been told that we should expect some big time surprises in this recruiting class.
Oh.
Now,
I mean, but isn't Coach Harsin leaving for Oregon?
yeah. I mean, these guys
Yeah.
are really jacked up with the prospects, and I saw pictures of Coach Harsin in Darius Clemens' living room today. I think he
went
was
out there,
in
yeah.
Oregon today with Darius Clemens talking about, "Hey, crystal gone, bruh. Caesar, what you said on Twitter? Hey, big head. What you doing? You up?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Pretty much.
if he goes out and he gets Clemens back in the fold, and recruiting is about tenacity, it's about persistence, and sometimes it's just about luck.
Yeah.
So get in there, man, and show this kid why he needs to be at Auburn, and let's get this thing pumping, man. I think that recruiting ratings and rankings have never been more overrated than they are now with the portal.
Right.
That's just me. But it still doesn't hurt to get as much talent on campus as you possibly can. So let's go
Right.
get every guy.
And
we
I
can.
think Auburn is the beneficiary of a lot of turnover with schools in close proximity that we recruit for the same players for. Oregon's not really in close proximity, but Cristobal recruits the Southeast. He recruits a lot of people in the South, like close in the Alabama area. We're in it for a lot of guys for Oregon, LSU. We have an opportunity to flip some guys. Actually have an opportunity. We're in it for some guys against Alabama. And if you recall, man, the past few years, if Bama wanted you, it wasn't even close. So for this staff in its first actual full recruiting cycle to have an opportunity to clean up, it's encouraging, man. It's encouraging. I am hot.
Hold on. This is a quality one right here. I'm gonna come back to the I am
Okay.
hot, but this is very quality. Hold on, I lost it. This is quality. Zach, he's a natural water seeker. That's quality. That's a quality chat comment right there.
That's
Natural wide
actually
receiver.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Natural. wide
Talking
receiver.
about Joe Brady is playing with my emotions. If we do get him, the transfer portal could be crazy.
That's really the thing, right? Now, the kids have a week. They got a week. They're going to see every coach who wants to see them. They're going to talk to everybody who wants to talk to them. They're going to go. I think they said even Clemens has an OV at Michigan because he's got another OV to use. So everybody's still going to be wheeling and dealing. We won't really know anything. Really, these coaching vacancies have to be filled because you can say, hey, well, I want to target you this much. But if you tell me the guy who had Burrows and Chase looking, hey, it's Rachel Tubbs. Let's give him the graphic so he can claim his
Hey,
deal.
Reginald. Business at thewarreport.com. Business at thewarreport.com. Email us your address and your T-shirt size. Please do not forget your T-shirt size. We default to mediums if you forget. That's a small and a medium. We don't care how it fits you. We'll not email you back. We won't follow up. You're getting a medium. Give us your T-shirt size.
You've been warned. Continue.
You've been
V.
warned.
But yeah, we've got to get that guy in here. And I don't. So like Luke said he liked Keesaw. Luke did. I am still of the mind that a sexy name does more for recruiting, but a name that's in-house that understands what the head coach wants to do and can do his job well is better for the actual on-field product. Because then if you come into next year and an OC who knows the personnel already, so he's seen everybody, he's coached every wide receiver, he's watched the offensive line play, and he knows what we've got in the backfield and at quarterback, all right, he calls the plays to these players' strengths. He coaches them up another year, and what you can do next year in recruiting is say, look how much we improved, number one. Number two, this guy's going to be here for the next 5 years because he's my guy.
Yeah,
and now you don't have to worry about Joe Brady going to get on the next hot OC ticket in the NFL or whatever.
Yeah, to B's point, listen, recruiting helps you 2 to 3 years from now. A good play caller that understands your system helps you right now.
Yes.
So CM Pat had left a comment here about this is being circulated a lot, that he doesn't like recruiting. And then I kind of made the point, and I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, we're just not sure how much a great recruiter your OC needs to be. You have guys on staff that can recruit and make relationships and be in those recruits' homes. I'm not saying that he doesn't have to recruit at all, but
I would say this, Mike G. It becomes a big deal if your head coach is a defensive guy. With it being Harsin sells the vision of the offense. He's running Harsin's offense regardless.
Right,
so the offensive coordinator being this staunch recruiter, that's why we're still in it for offensive guys, because it's Harsin's offense. He's the one that's going to say, "Hey, this is what we're doing." I think that's a bit overblown when your head coach is an offensive guy. Now, again, if we had a defensive coach for a head coach, totally different. Because you need to know what offense you're running, right?
And in this system, we're being told that position coaches are responsible for player rotations as well, too. Mm-hmm. So, the guy you really need to impress if you want to get on the field is your position coach. Yeah. When all the stuff started happening around Coach Sewell, that's what we're being told. The wide receiver coach is responsible for the rotations of wide receivers that we see in the game. So if that's how it's going to continue to be, man, you need your position coaches to be ace recruiters. I'm not sure. I think it's overblown. Everybody on your staff is not going to be an ace recruiter, right?
I tweeted this as well. You can sell, but if when they look at the film and they see that the receivers aren't getting the ball, they see that the offense looks bland, no imagination, they're not going to buy what you're selling anyway.
Yeah, guys, Harsin's got to win this year.
Right.
After how we ended the season, he's got to win this year. All the talk about recruiting, I hear you. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it ain't going to help him win this year unless he's got the next stud freshman that's going to come in and win the Heisman. So if Johnny Manziel's in the wings, then, okay, yeah, recruiting helps you.
Stuart Donald, yep. Roger McCreary named first team All-American by ESPN.
Hey. Well deserved.
Philip Coleman jumps in to say, I'd promote Keesaw and bring Damian Craig to be wide receiver coach. You get a boost in recruiting in the offense. This is a good thought. The question is, does he want to make a lateral move from Texas A&M to Auburn?
Right.
That's really I like the idea, but
I think he would come in to get the title and some offensive coordinator responsibility. But yes, I don't know if he would make a lateral move to do what he's already doing at A&M.
Right. And that's why, maybe I was talking to either B. Will or Mike G about why I think the Dale McGee situation is appealing, because you do have Keesaw on the staff and you do have Brian Harsin as your head coach, right? So even if Dale McGee isn't an experienced play caller, you have guys who have experience at play caller, and you bring the guy in that just gets you the dudes. Right. All right. We know how to do the X's and O's stuff. We need the guys to run the system. So you get somebody who's adept at bringing those guys in to run your system. Then, you have the best of both worlds sitting on your staff at that point in time. And then Dale McGee gets to grow in his ability as an offensive play caller while he's there with somebody else to help groom that. And then, you're off and running in the year after that with him as your OC. Because naturally, and the same thing with the Joe Brady situation, if Keesaw was, let's say Dale McGee's your offensive coordinator, but everybody knows Keesaw was the play caller. Keesaw's likely gone soon thereafter if he's not getting an OC job, because people are going to want the guy that made that offense go. So you do have a good way to kind of stretch yourself out for a couple of years if that's your situation.
Yeah, that's right.
Did we get this one from AU fan TJ?
Yeah.
We did get that one?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Also, we got a few down here. Reginald Tubbs, appreciate the super sticker. I'm moving my way back up. Philip Coleman, I promote Keesaw, because you already did that one. So
I think we hit all the rest of the super chats that were in there.
Yeah, somebody asked if we're talking top 10 class now. And the answer is, if they hit everybody left on their board, yes. Do I
But
expect
very
them?
important, very important to remember: transfers do not count towards recruiting rankings.
They don't.
So there is an all ACC offensive lineman. It was a center from Virginia because their head coach got fired.
Right.
And so a lot of those players are on the move, and everybody's going after him, though. Not to say that we don't have a chance, I don't know. But if we land that guy, that is better than the best 5-star recruit we could get out of high school because he's already played. He's already been very, very good. He doesn't need a year to develop his body, but that would not count towards our recruiting rankings. But that's better than any high school recruit we could land right now. And that's why the recruiting rankings are very deceptive right now. We could finish 25th in the nation, but get 3 stud transfers and really have what effectively, as far as who is here to play, a top 10 class. So
because
it's
if you
really
looked
up
at
in the air.
people rank the talent on our defensive line last year, we wouldn't have been ranked very high based upon recruiting rankings, right?
Right.
But you bring in Tony Fair and you bring in Eku Leota, and those guys play significant minutes and help your defensive line rotations out a ton because everybody's like, oh, we lost too much talent on the defensive line. We're not going to be good on the defensive line. Crap. That's BS. We were good on the defensive line last year. Right now, we weren't the best in the country, but I challenge you to tell me Florida got a lot better for getting our ex guys on their defensive line, or UCF all of a sudden was like some stellar, unbreakable defensive line because Big Cat was anchoring it. No, that's just not a factual thing, right? So,
But he said
I
they could beat
think-
Auburn.
I mean, he said a lot of stuff. I'm not going to get into a Big Cat rant today. But yeah, man, I just think that we've got to figure out how to understand the new day and age that we have in college football. And I think our coaches have figured it out. They understand the game that we're playing. You see what they're doing with NIL right now. They understand what day and age we are in collegiate athletics. And they're playing that game the way it's supposed to be played, which is I don't have to beat you for the next high school star. I just need to make sure that I've solidified my team for the next couple of years. And, you know, as much as people didn't like to see it, they held out a lot of freshmen to make sure we're going to get every ounce of use out of them that we can for their eligibility. And we're going to have some beasts along that defensive line that you haven't seen play yet. We're going to have some beasts in the defensive backfield. We're going to have some beasts at linebacker that you haven't seen play yet. They were raving about Dawson as a wide receiver. We haven't seen him play a single snap yet, really, right? You know, they held out a lot of the recruits that we have in the tight end room. And we talked about how J.J. Pegues was a starter at tight end last year, or the year before last, I should say, and had to move to defensive line because of the competition in the tight end room. And one of the guys in that tight end room didn't even get any significant snaps this year, right? So to the thought process that Auburn, a talentless Auburn team, was everybody told us we didn't have any talent to start the season. A talentless Auburn team was on the brink of beating Alabama, had leads against Mississippi State, should have beat South Carolina, took Penn State to all of these games. A team with no talent did that. Then what can we do with a team that has a bunch of talent that's going to be coming in? You see what I'm saying? Like, I just think people need to reframe their minds around what Auburn's future can be. Now, again, this feels like sunshine pumping, right? And we haven't seen anything on the field yet. But the reality is it's not as bleak as some people may have you believe. And it's definitely has the potential to be greater than most people even assume.
Yep. Agreed.
We got one more super chat I saw up here. Jazzy Joe says, what's the one recruit y'all think is a must get?
That's out there that hasn't already committed. If you had asked, I've been high on Darius Clemens this whole time. Yeah. He was the highest rated recruit on their board, period. Right, so when I heard he was swaying back Oregon, I didn't like that. I think that it signals something to other recruits when guys like him hang in the fold. So, you know, Darius Clemens is a warning shot to the rest of the SEC that we're coming. So like, I like Clemens. I think if they get Clemens, some other dominoes might start to fall. Yeah, I mean, this staff was behind on 2022. Now, and I'm sticking to the
Right.
narrative. Those relationships were formed with a lot of these SEC coaches before Brian Hartson knew he was going to be at Auburn. So he had some catching up to do. 2023 is really going to be the story of how they recruit. If we're still 14th or 13th in the SEC in recruiting rankings in 2023, and we got a problem. This year, I don't know. Step it up, and I know they're going to finish higher than where they're at.
I don't think Auburn gets this guy, just in my personal opinion, but for me, it's Curtis Perry. Because you want to talk about signal that we're coming, stealing a recruit from Alabama, someone that Alabama was after, is a big warning shot, as far as I'm concerned. Because again, anytime Alabama was literally drafting, it felt like they were drafting players out of the state. Like if they wanted you, they were going to get you. It didn't matter what type of push Auburn made. So for us to be in it for the opportunity to flip Woodyard, to get a commit out of Curtis Perry in year one, in a year where Auburn has been behind the 8 ball, if we get someone like him, that's a serious warning shot. And I'm excited about what recruiting does look like under this coaching staff over the next few years. If you can come in less than a year and pull this guy out of the state of Alabama, to me, that's huge.
Yeah,
What about
it's gonna
what
be
about
very
you, B?
interesting, man? Go ahead. Yeah, because I don't even have the name, so go for it.
I don't think Thanos is the biggest get because we're
Thanos.
pretty stacked at defensive line. So that's not the one I want to get. The one I want the most is that transfer offensive lineman from Virginia. Already ready, already tested, already again, all conference center. We're losing a center. Hey, we need that. Like, I mean, that's the biggest get, the biggest need, and I think that signals to running backs. Come on home, or stay at home, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a one name in particular that I think is just kind of I mean, there's a bunch of big gets that would be out there. There's a couple of DBs that I really think, we that's the place where I think that we are going to struggle the most is in the defensive backfield. And so there's a couple of DBs out there that I think that we're eyeing that would be really good gets to bring in. So that's it. That's all I got.
There was I know what's his name? We were in it for the number 1 JUCO corner. And considering we are losing the best corner in college, we kind of need an experienced corner to pick up at that position.
Listen, if Drayshawn Miller is everything everybody advertised, he should be out there balling next year. And if we get the number 1 JUCO corner to come in and play opposite of him, I don't know, fam. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, they've got some.
I can see, and I can.
tricks
I
up their
mean,
sleeve.
I can see him playing with a chip on his shoulder after last year too, man. He's
Yeah.
ready to show something. He's ready to show
He didn't jump in the portal. I mean, he would have had to wait because he used his
He's here now.
single.
He's here
Yeah.
now. He got to make the most of it.
Yeah, I seen what he puts on social media too, man. Like he seems like he's waiting in the wings, patient kind of guy. Like, he's just like, hey, my time's coming. It's coming. I'm working hard behind the scenes. He seems humble, right? I think maybe the experience humbled him a little bit, but he's taking that in stride, and it's just making him work harder. So maybe it's not going
Go
like
ball.
he thought it would go when he first got here. But, I like to see that from guys where his first
Yeah, that's his
inclination
name.
isn't cut and run.
Marquise Gilbert, that's the JUCO player that we've been rumored to have in the wings possible. So
Felix, appreciate you, man. I've been hearing that the incoming recruiting class looks promising for them.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And to me, I feel like Auburn is in a good situation considering where they started, man. These guys really didn't start recruiting until June, like really getting FaceTime in front of these players until June. So when you think about it that way, that's insane to see that we could actually finish in the top 20, maybe even top 15 when it's all said and done. So good stuff. 7 days out. We'll see how we close. So, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Mike G, Want to tell people what they need to become, sir?
Hey, listen, you guys already know the deal. Become an insider. $5.99 a month will get you there. We're dropping tons of premium content for you guys this off season. So we're the hardest working content creators, January to July. I promise nobody's working harder than us. Now, as an insider, supporting our content, we give back to you. One of the things that we're giving back is Hell Birmingham Bowl tickets. So a lot of you have responded to our community posts about these tickets, saying that you're interested. Some of you that you've never been to a bowl game, some of you that you've never been to a game. Well, right now, we're giving away 8 tickets, possibly more, all grouped together so you guys can sit and watch the bowl game as the War Rapport family. I definitely am looking forward to sending you guys there. I'm going to be there. Ike's going to be there. So we're going to stop by and say hi to you guys in person, do a little meet and greet. But as a thank you for just supporting us all year long, the culmination of it is this bowl game. We want to send you guys on the War Rapport. So tune in Sunday. We're going to give away our first tickets on Sunday. Make sure you're tuned in Sunday because it will be raffled off live, and you must be present to win. And you must be a subscriber. As a matter of fact, if you're not a subscriber, you're not even going to be able to chat and enter. So subscribe if you're watching and you're not subscribed for a chance, and then sign up for our email list. Now, I put this link, but if you go to the About section of our YouTube channel, you'll see a link for our email list. This helps us contact you when you win. We cannot DM people on YouTube. So if you don't answer live and you win, we need a way to contact you. That's one of the reasons why you have to be live to win T-shirts, because we can't run you guys down after the fact if you're not here without your email address. So sign up for the email list so we can contact you. If you win, we're going to be giving away tickets a number of ways. We're partnered with the Lee County Humane Society. 50 cents on every dollar goes to Lee County Humane Society to help them #save all the puppies. We appreciate everybody who goes and does that. That is in the About section of our YouTube channel. Big shout to Luke Deal for joining us today, man. This is our first current Auburn football player to join the War Rapport. You guys know how we feel about talking to current players, but we decided to do this because using our platform to get behind a good cause is something that's really important to us as an organization. Helping his dad fight ALS is as good a cause as it's going to get. So you can visit this GoFundMe. I'm going to put a link in the community as well for you guys to get there. Click donate. That's the part of being family, is no one person has to do all the heavy lifting. So if you have deep pockets and you want to take a big chunk out of it, go for it. Otherwise, for the rest of you guys that just have a little bit to give, that's all it takes, is everybody to do a little, and we can help fight ALS and help Luke's dad fight this disease. Other than that, guys, we're on podcast. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, SoundCloud, Spotify. We're all over the place, growing. So this Wednesday night War Room will be up on podcast for you guys in a couple days. And big shout out to our sponsor, BUSR.com. Visit BUSR.com/rapport. Sign up for an account. You can support us by supporting our sponsors. Shout out to our title sponsor, AuburnSports.com. That's our guy, JG Tate, over there at Auburn Sports. So if you're looking for recruiting news, go visit JG. We appreciate him for being a sponsor of our channel, supporting the content, supporting the dream, man. We're just out here living it.
SS Austin, we appreciate you. And he's right. Get the likes up before you get out of here. We need you to get those thumbs up, guys. Like the video. Please be sure to do that. Also, share this video on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Use hashtag Get Your Weight Up. Add us if you're on Twitter at The War Rapport. You want to hear that again? That's at The War Rapport on Twitter, Instagram. You can find us there. We also TW Rapport on TikTok. That's it for now, but we got more on the way. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle. War Eagle.